hate to cut off that song. It was so happy, wasn't it, Jess?
Yeah. Rodeo song.
Yes. All right. We are at the top of the hour. It is Tuesday, 10 o'clock in the morning. You are listening to WZNC LP Bethlehem, North Country Community Radio, 99.9 FM, and we're streaming online at nococommunityradio.org. This is Amanda McKeen, and you are tuned in to North of Normal. We're on every Tuesday from 10 to noon. And from 10 to 11, I have on a different guest every week, somebody that is in the community here in the North Country, somebody that I've crossed paths with that seemed very interesting and might have some stories to share with the community. And this week we have Jess O'Leary. Jess, thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. And for our listeners, I just want to put it out there that I barely know Jess, but I met her, I think it was last month we met.
Yeah.
And I just got this really good vibe from Jess, and I was like, hey, do you want to come on my radio show? And Jess said yes. So I'm just so honored that you said yes right away. That says something about what you perceived in me too, I think.
Definitely.
Okay.
Yes.
So Jess, today we're really just going to get to know you and hopefully hear some stories from your life.
Yeah.
And I love to start out with how the heck did you end up here in the North Country?
All right.
So not knowing where you're from,
mm-hmm.
I only know you because of yoga.
Mm-hmm.
So let's back up or start wherever you want to start, and I'll just fire my curiosity at you.
Yes.
Okay.
That sounds good. Yeah,
awesome.
And don't forget, we also both have ragdoll cats.
Oh, yes.
That's what I think. That was the first bonding moment.
Yeah. Let's hear your perspective. The night that we met.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I remember you initially from the wellness and mental health fair.
Yes.
So
that's when we met.
Yes, that was the first day we met, and we were swapping photos. And then, it was so funny because you came to the yin class, and you were barricaded with props around you. I had my dog next to me, and you had all of your props, and you were just ready to go.
Yeah, so for listeners that don't know what the heck she's talking about, this is yoga class. We went... Jess, you teach at Dust Off Yoga,
I do,
right?
yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So Jess has a class, but we both were attending a class together. And props are the cushions and the pillows and
mm-hmm.
the blankets and all of the things that you get to make yourself comfortable. And we make ourselves a nest at a certain point. It's my favorite part. So I get every single...
You got a head start on it.
Yeah, I get every single possible prop that's available and just make myself the best nest that anyone has ever seen.
It was, too. It was impressive.
Yeah. But anyways, we met there was a mental health fair at the Littleton Community Center
mm-hmm.
last month, and I actually blogged about it, but you were at the Dust Off Yoga table.
Yes.
With
mm-hmm.
Jen. And Jen I know very well, and still trying to get her to come on, but she's usually busy on Tuesdays.
Mm-hmm.
And I hadn't seen your face before,
uh-huh.
especially associated with Dust Off Yoga. So I was just like, who are you?
Who is this person?
Yeah. And then my cat came up in conversation. Jen brought him up,
mm-hmm.
William Wallace. So I pulled up a photo on my phone, showed him to you, and you were like, I also have a rag doll.
They're the best.
They are the best.
Mm-hmm.
What's the name of yours?
Yuri. I actually named him from the movie Dr. Zhivago because I picked him up in December in a snowstorm.
Oh.
So Yuri Zhivago.
I haven't seen that movie.
Oh, it's a long, tedious movie.
But
it's good.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to check it out.
It's one of those old school ones, yeah.
Okay. So we kind of bonded over that immediately.
Mm-hmm.
And then at the yoga class, you brought your dog.
I did.
Who, by the way, was invited today.
I know.
But she was sleeping in.
She was sleeping in. She's still in bed right now.
Yeah.
Bougie.
So what's your dog's name?
Her name's Chia.
Okay.
It's a Kurdish word for mountain.
Ooh, I love that.
Yeah. So Chiya.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's what we started talking over as well, because I was telling you how I had rescued her and all that.
Yeah, so. and that story is what made me think, oh, you should come on the radio. Yeah. Do we want to tell that story?
Yeah,
I think our listeners would. Yeah, I think they would find that interesting.
Yeah. So I served in the Army. I was deployed. My last deployment actually to Syria in 2020, and I got sent out to a location on a partner forces base, and there was a litter of 4 puppies hanging out outside our office/kitchen quarters, and we were under strict guidance to not mess with the wildlife or enemy animals, but they were getting chucked into a garbage truck one morning, and
the puppies?
The puppies, yes. Because the partner force didn't want them on the base anymore. And our interpreter caught it and but managed to, rescue them. And then from that point on, I hid them in my sleeping quarters for about 2 months. All 4 of them, I would hide them in there and then, let the garbage truck pass and then let them go. But 4 of them ended up, they all got sick one after another, and we were able to nurse 2 of them back to health.
Okay.
And and rescue them. They got sent down to Iraq for a few months and then flown over to JFK through Operation Baghdad Pups through the SPCA.
And you kind of started that whole initiative, right?
I just kind of jumped on board with it.
Okay.
But it definitely started a trend, because after that, the interpreters were rescuing kittens and sending them down and stuff. So the 2 dogs are not the only ones on the flight back over to JFK, that's for sure. Yeah.
Wow. I didn't even know that existed.
Yeah, isn't that cool?
Yeah, it is cool.
Yeah, they have. I'm not sure if it's still in service now, but the SPCA International has a lot of initiatives like that, especially in disaster zones and war zones. Yeah.
All right. So you ended up with Chia. Did you know that Chia was going to be yours before she was flown here?
Yes. Yeah. So someone else was taking her sister.
Okay.
And a team member of mine was supposed to take the sister, and she actually ended up with his mom, which is really cool. So the sister's down in New Jersey now.
Okay.
And then I chose Chia because she was just the chillest one. She didn't really want anything to do with anyone. She was off by herself. I was like, that's my dog.
Like a cat.
She is like a cat, and Yuri's the dog, for sure.
Well, you had showed me a video of those 2 playing. They actually get along, which I'm shocked by.
I know.
So cool.
Yeah.
It's probably because the cat is the dominant one, right?
Yeah, I'd say so. And I think Chia, the breed, at least her dad for sure was a livestock guardian. So they're just naturally very good with small animals. Yeah.
That's awesome. So you have some really tender animals in your life.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Yeah. That's so good. I feel like that's so important.
They definitely keep me grounded.
Yeah.
Here.
Yeah.
in one place. I'm not, and I'm not mad about it, but I'm not able to just, kind of hop in a van and drift off from national park to national park, and, drive all over the place. Because, I probably could with those 2, but it's nice to have a home base. Yeah.
So that kind of begs the question, is that what you wish you were doing sometimes?
No, not anymore. I really did envision myself at this point. I'm 35. I envision myself kind of maybe exploring that adventure, that van life, or trip, because I enjoyed the road trips. The few trips I was able to take. But no, I'm so happy. I'm so happy living here and having my home here and having my 2 pets. I have a little log cabin, and I love it up here.
Yeah, so I was about to ask you before we went on air where you live now, and then I was like, no, don't tell me. So where do you live?
I live in Warren.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
I don't think I've ever been to Warren.
You may have driven through it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a small little town just south of Woodstock.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not that far away. So you drive through the Notch to come do yoga?
I do.
Okay.
I do, which is it's a little bit of a drive.
Yeah.
And let's see, I drove up Monday morning, which was interesting. Going through that.
The weather.
But it's so cool being able to drive through the Notch every day to go to work. Well, every few times a week. It's like every time I'm like, I can't believe this is my life. Like, I love it.
Isn't it magical?
It really is. It really is.
2 weeks ago, one of my guests described it as a portal.
Yes. Yeah.
I totally resonate with that.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
And it's so random because, like, you know, you can be in other parts of New Hampshire and not have that feeling that there's these rugged mountains anywhere nearby. And then all of a sudden there's the Notch and you're like, holy crap. The magnitude that you feel looking up at, you know, the mountains and the cliffs and stuff is just like impressive.
Exactly. Yeah. And it's so cool too because there's it's a different vibe town to town, so Plymouth versus Woodstock and Lincoln, and then as soon as you get through the Notch, it's a whole different weather system as well. You know, I can't really gauge what the weather's going to be like till I get up here, and then this has its own vibe.
It does,
and it's just cool. It's
what is the vibe? What is the vibe here?
Gosh, well, I mean, Littleton is jam packed with, you know, the spiritual healing, the holistic wellness. We have I think 5 yoga studios
at least
in this town, in one town. There's not even that many down in you know where I used to live, just south of Boston. It's not. This is. And it's not just yoga studios. It's yoga therapy. It's the holistic healing. It's there's a woman who's coming to our studio soon here to do like a tea room ceremony and stuff like that. I mean, it is so cool. The little hub, it really is. I would, medicinal magic is like the word that came to mind up here.
Interesting.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, I love to hear people's, you know, different perspectives. And you're, you know, because you're an instructor, you kind of have more of a, you're more in touch with that stuff, I think. Than a lot of other people that I've had on here. You know, there's a lot of different worlds that you can get involved in here.
Definitely.
You know?
Yeah, because then you have the whole outdoors. Outdoor rec, which is like its whole
But even then, there's like segments, like the biking community. And all you do is bike.
The climbing community.
The climbing community, the hiking community. So there's a lot of options up here, and it's surprising. It's unexpected considering the size, you know, of the population.
I know. It's so cool. And then you have, on top of all that, you also have like the Women's Rural Entrepreneur Network, which is so cool that we have that up here.
Are you part of that?
I just joined it. Yeah.
Okay.
I just joined. I did the networking event a few weeks ago. And then, I just stopped in to do some Christmas shopping at their gallery, which was great. They have some affordable stuff in there too. Cool.
Nice.
Like nice little trinkets and gifts. But yeah, you have that side of it, you know, so many small business owners, so many entrepreneurs. And then the climbing community also has a special place in my heart because I set up my food trailer down at the campground at Rumney Rocks where there's...
You do?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay, so you need to tell our listeners what this is all about. Yes. Let's go.
All right. So when I moved up here, I retired in March from the Army. So when I moved
Congratulations.
up here, thank you.
And also thank you for your service.
Thank you. I appreciate you. Yeah. And I opened up a smoothie trailer a couple of years ago to kind of keep my mind busy. I joke it's to keep me out of trouble. And this past year I was setting up over at Rumney Rocks. So it's the climbers all come down there. So that was most of my customer base. And then every Monday after yoga, I go to the climbing center not to actually climb. I do the aerial skills, but still there's I'm always finding myself kind of, you know, rubbing shoulders with the climbing community. And
That's awesome.
They're awesome. Yeah.
So where do you set up in the campground field?
Yeah. So the American Alpine campground down there, the people that manage it just let me set up there, which
that's amazing.
It's so, oh my gosh, it makes me so happy. So I was this year I just did it Saturday and Sunday, which was fine. That was great. You just do it for the warm weather season.
That's a perfect spot.
It really is. Yeah.
I wish you had been there when I was there.
When were you there?
A couple years ago, I was doing some outdoor climbing.
Oh, okay.
With the group from North Country.
Yeah.
What do you call it?
North Country Climbing Center.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And N3C or NC3?
NC3.
Okay.
Right?
I don't know. It's one of those. I had gone, there was a women's group that had formed, and it was like introductory.
Yep.
So we did Rumney Rocks a few times, and it just would have been really nice. I wish you had been there.
I know. Yeah, get a nice smoothie after your climb.
It would have been very rewarding. Instead, I just had to, like, drive back in the dark, like, for an hour, you know?
Oh, jeez. It is a long drive.
It is a long drive.
It's a little bit on a back road. Yeah, you're tucked back there for sure.
But that area is super fun. It's a lot of different sections of rock and very different from... Each section is different. It's, like, super unique.
Yeah. And it's fun, too, because you kind of have a view of everyone climbing.
Yeah.
In some of the areas, so you can just really walk up there and just... Well, I love to watch people climb.
Yeah.
I think it's so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so you have this trailer, and you do that in the summertime when it's good weather.
Yes. Yeah. So this was my second summer with it. So we open up in May, and then our season picks up, and we go through October, and I would go for longer if I could, but I haven't figured out a way to keep my water systems from freezing.
Yeah.
But you'd be surprised, people still order smoothies when it gets chilly.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm assuming they're healthy.
Yes, and that was the idea.
Like clean.
That was the idea. When I first moved to Warren, I just really wanted to, I'd go on these hikes, and it's like, I just really want something quick, but I don't want it to be heavy or processed, and so the idea was just to be able to give something, offer something to anyone passing through, anyone who's come down from a hike or a climb or wherever, or off the lake, and get something quick and healthy on their way to dinner or wherever they're headed.
That's awesome. Do you have a system for, I think you hike. Do you hike?
I do.
Okay, so do you have a system to actually carry smoothies with you and keep them?
I wish.
No. Maybe wintertime is easier?
Maybe. No.
Because that was something I always struggled with hiking and even biking, is fueling myself. I have like a very delicate immune system, and my dietary restrictions are vast.
Okay.
So there's only certain foods I can eat, and you can't really transport them very well. If I could have smoothies in my pack, that would be a game changer.
Well, the one pro tip I would offer is, if you want to take smoothies on the go to drink later, you need to get yourself a vacuum blender. Because the vacuum blender, it takes oxygen out, so it prevents the fruits and stuff from, nerd out on this for a second.
Oh,
it
no.
prevents everything from oxidizing. So especially bananas, the reason it tastes a little different, 30 minutes after you blend it, is because the banana's oxidized. Vacuum blender prevents that from happening. So it helps preserve the nutritional benefits, but also preserve the taste. So you get yourself a vacuum blender. And then just be conscious about what you're putting in there. So if you put a lot of banana, it's still or avocado, it's going to change over time. But most fruits and veggies, you'll have it. It'll taste just the same the next day.
Oh, my goodness. Okay. So. Can we do like a vacuum seal storage bag for smoothies? Like a bag, like a bladder type situation?
There you go.
That's disposable, and then you have like a straw that is like built in.
Like a Capri Sun pack.
Yes.
Yeah, I love that idea.
Okay. Please make that.
Okay. I'll work. I'm going to jot it down. I'll work
that
on it.
Seriously would change my life.
That's a great idea.
Thank you.
That's a great idea.
Okay. So what is the name of your trailer or brand or whatever?
It's called Mountain Mermaid.
Okay.
So, so we're expanding into a location coming this spring, because the trailer, as fun as it is, I'm keeping the trailer for now.
Okay.
And as fun as it is a lot for one person. I hook up I set up, I break down, I hook up again. It's a lot for one person.
Okay.
So, but because we want to expand into the locally sourced meal kits, we need a bigger location to be able to house that. So we'll be doing that in the spring.
Locally sourced meal kits.
Yes. So everything's coming from local farms.
Wow.
Local produce. And we use whatever the farms have available for that month or that week, and we try to put it into recipes. And we make kits kind of like your HelloFresh or Blue Apron. And then it's a recipe card on there, and it has exactly where every onion, apple, sweet potato came from.
Wow.
On it, and the meat. There's a few odds and ends here we won't be able to locally source, but it's about 90%. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Food. Yeah.
Is that under Mountain Mermaid as well?
Yep. That's the reason to expand into the actual location, is to be able to do that, and with that, smoothie kits as well. So that's a big one.
Gosh. That's exciting.
Very excited, because the smoothie kits, you can process what you're getting from the farm and then freeze it.
Yeah.
So there's no spoilage. So it's really, the focus is to really help prevent spoilage coming out of the farms, use what they have as soon as possible, freeze it, and then also make it more convenient and accessible to get to, whether it be people visiting or people who live here. Make sure they're able to get local food on their table.
I love that. Where's the location going to be?
Plymouth.
Okay.
Yes.
Can you not bring it to Littleton? Plymouth is a little far away.
I know. Well, there's two goals. One is to expand and have a location in Littleton in the next couple of years as well.
Okay.
So that's in the sights. And also, two, is to have a delivery system. So, because that's one of the big gaps, is the pickup and delivery from farm to, whether it be restaurant or any local resident. There's, the residents or the restaurants are having to drive to the farm, which, everyone's busy. They're tight on time, gas money as well. So if we can connect the two dots, so hopefully we'll be able to get delivery up here as well. Yeah.
I like that a lot. That's super exciting.
Yeah.
So help me understand why this became a thing. I know you said it keeps you out of trouble, but I bet it goes deeper than that.
Yeah. So, I was in the Army for 12 years.
That's quite a while.
Yeah. In the last few years, it was a very long medical board process in order to retire. Lots of appointments and assessments, and just coming out, I decided I wanted to be able to work for myself.
Yeah.
And do that. And I think I always had that, business side of things. So my original degree was in college, was business, and one of my favorite classes was coming up with a business plan.
Yeah.
And getting us almost to the point where we're ready to open the business, developing everything, and same with grad school. So I want to be able to run something of my own. And the local food thing is just so important to me, for us to be able to create, or just at least support our local food systems, so that we're knowing exactly where our food is coming from. We know literally who grew it and who picked it.
Yeah.
And just be able to have those independent food systems, especially in this day and age, kind of revisit that culture, the farm culture and stuff. I mean, these days, so many farms, I think it's like 95% of dairy farms in Vermont have gone out of business. And it was, I think, 30 to 40% of that happened in the last few years, pretty much from like 2017 till now. So just being able to start boosting up our local farmers and have that money come directly back into the economy and into the community.
Do you know any farmers?
Now I do. I know lots of farmers now. I'm not a farmer myself, but I love my farmers. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually one of my favorite things, and probably what inspired this too is I would have this, I called it my local farm loop, to go do my grocery shopping, and I'd go up from Warren. I'd head out to, you always stop at Good Time Farm because that's right in Warren, but then head out to Four Corners and then make the drive down, maybe stop at Sweetland, maybe stop at a couple farm stands, and then always stop at Roby on the way back.
Nice.
And it's just like, I just hit everything. It takes a little bit longer than going to Market Basket. Oh, but it's so much, I don't know. I just get like giddy.
Yeah, I can tell.
Every time I come out there, I'm like, this is so cool.
That is cool. I don't think I've ever had that kind of mindset when it comes to getting my food, but I really like that idea. And I actually grew up on a farm.
Okay.
My family owns a massive dairy farm in Maine.
Oh, cool.
And they're surviving because they've adapted and they use robots to milk the cows now.
Oh, interesting.
Which is amazing.
Yeah.
I went and saw it. But I grew up right down the road from that farm, and we always had plenty. And I always took it for granted because that was my life.
Yeah.
You know, we had meat and milk, and we had gardens, and so that was the way I grew up. Mm-hmm. I totally miss it, but it never really clicked to me to like drive to farms and get my food.
Yeah. I know, isn't that so funny?
Yeah.
People, and I think people just write it off because our brains are wired to convenience these days. So
totally.
We're just like, we want to get it all in one spot. But when I was living in the south of Boston, for starters, trying to drive anywhere south of Boston, I mean, if it's 10 miles away, it's still going to take you an hour. So it's much more pleasurable making my local farm loop these days.
Yeah.
But when I go to the grocery store, I just found myself constantly reading everything that was in it, and just spending probably about 2 hours, assessing if this was worth the price and worth, whatever ingredients were coming into it. And it was stressful.
Yeah.
And it was anxious, and no one actually likes going to the grocery store. I mean, okay, maybe there's somebody out there, maybe. Do you really? Oh my gosh.
I do, but it's for certain reasons. Yeah. Yeah.
But for me, it was just stressful. It was anxiety inducing.
Yeah.
And I would feel mentally exhausted from decision fatigue when I would come out of it. So, being able to come up with a solution to that, and also obviously when you go to the grocery store here, and I'm talking, commercial grocery retail industry, that money's not coming back into the economy. Except for, maybe the employees that are working there. But it's going elsewhere.
Yeah.
We have all this food right here.
Yeah.
We have all of it's right here for us. And when we give the money to that farmer, it's going right back into the economy.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Awesome. I love seeing you light up like that. I can definitely tell you're passionate about this.
Yes. Very, very. I'm big about, following your purpose, figuring out following it, and following your why and all that, because, life's too short otherwise. And it makes every day for me, it doesn't matter what I have on my plate, it's just enjoyable.
Yeah.
Which is something I think for a little while I had in the Army, but it definitely faded quick. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I got a couple questions, and I'm trying to decide which question makes sense to ask first. Let me just tell you what two they are.
Okay.
Where are you originally from?
Okay.
And why did you go into the Army?
Oh, all right.
Is that good?
Yeah.
You answer whatever order you want.
I can. Okay. So I am originally from Worcester, Mass. Well, Millbury. It's just outside Worcester, Massachusetts. And that'll help lead into the next question. Okay. So the high school I went to was there was a lot of foreign students at the high school. And so I was very quickly exposed to many different cultures and languages and everything like that. And I had the opportunity and privilege to travel. I went to Mexico, and the two I remember the most was Mexico to visit a friend, but then it was Morocco.
Very cool.
Yeah, and it was Morocco. We were in Tangier, and it was a market, and I remember it was just we had gotten there from Spain, and Spain was cool, but like the culture shock of Morocco, and also I think there's a little bit of an adrenaline rush to it too, because it was a line of us high school students, and we had this guy kind of running up and down. It was a local guy running up and down our line to make sure that, we weren't getting pickpocketed or hassled or whatever. And I don't know, it was like, and it was a little bit of an adrenaline rush. I was like, oh, this is so cool.
You felt like there was some danger?
Yes.
Some element of danger?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I think after that, I was like, I want to go to more places like that. I don't know. That's just how my brain was like, I want to do that again.
Okay.
So, yeah. So I then, towards the end of college, I wanted to study abroad. And I couldn't afford to do like the French Riviera or anything like that. So I ended up buying a one-way ticket out to northeastern Ukraine.
That makes sense.
So I did my study abroad in Kharkiv, Ukraine at Kharkiv National University. And I remember on the plane ride over, I was teaching myself the Cyrillic alphabet so I could like read the signs. And I went over, it was January, so it kind of looked like this outside, or like how it looked like on Monday. It was
cold and dreary.
And just snowing sideways.
Okay.
All day, every day.
Oh my gosh.
Luckily, I like the winter. So.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah.
It's good.
So, yeah. Yeah. So I ended up in Ukraine, and this was 2010, I want to say, or 2011 I was there. Yeah, 2011. And it was an experience. It was an experience. There's a lot of stuff I loved about it. There's a lot of stuff that, I definitely don't miss now. But we took a trip up to Moscow. And when I was in Moscow, I got myself into a little bit of trouble.
Oh, yay. Okay, here's a story.
Here's story
right.
number one.
I'm listening.
Yeah, so I went out. I had a friend that had too much to drink, and I went out to, it was about 2 a.m. I left the hostel. It was with our study group, but I walked out by myself, and I went to grab her some bread and water at the local kiosk. And as I was walking back, I got jumped, and I was fine. It was, just a little bit of a shock factor, and I got my wallet taken, so I ended up...
Was there a weapon involved?
Nope, just 2 men just kind of muscled me.
Okay.
And took my wallet. So I went... This is, like, again, how my brain works. So we went to the Moscow State Police Station. It was now it's like 3, 4 in the morning. And I'll never forget, it was straight out of a Cold War era movie. This detective policeman is sitting there in this like concrete walled, dimly lit room with the one light bulb coming down, probably swinging. I don't remember. And flickering. And he's smoking, I kid you not, he's smoking a cigarette, talking to me in Russian. I still don't understand a word of Russian at this point. And he's just telling me how it's my fault. It's like, you shouldn't have been out. You know better.
Did you have an interpreter?
Yes.
Okay.
So that's how I was able to. Yeah. So the woman that ran the program, bless her heart, because she was pregnant at the time. I was just like, oh, the stress I probably put this woman under. But she was a tough cookie. And yeah, so she was translating for me, and he was just like, yeah, he's like, it's your fault. You're a dummy. And luckily, again, it was just like $20 my wallet and a driver's license or something. So no big deal. Big deal, but no big deal. It was an experience. So I came out of that. And when we were leaving Ukraine, it was the Euro Cup. So Ukraine was hosting the Euro Cup, and there was a lot of controversy around some things they were doing with their they had jailed a prime minister and stuff, so there was a lot of chaos in the country. And their computer systems were not able to handle the influx of people coming in to watch the Euro Cup, so all the systems to buy train tickets crashed. So we were trying, our visas were almost expiring. And we were in Lviv at this point. We made it from Kharkiv up in the northeastern corner, made it over to Lviv, and we were trying to leave the country before our visas expired. I don't know what happens then, but it's not good. So we're trying to get out, and we ended up having to like walk across a border with just mass amount of people that were kind of like crushing up against the gate. And I mean, it was a friend and I, and we had our suitcases, and I remember I had bruises all up and down my arm, and
from what?
From getting pressed up against the gate. And the Polish border guard saw our passports and was able to kind of wave us through the crowd and get over to the other side. I tell all these stories into why I ended up joining the Army was because in addition to like wanting to be a part of something bigger than myself, I want to be able to I want to travel back to countries like this and just have a little bit extra sense of security, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? I was like, I want to be able to travel these places, but, know that I'm not going to get crushed to death up against a gate trying to get back across the border, which, ironically, obviously, being in the military and deployed is far more dangerous than anything we did. But in my brain, I was just like, I thought
that made sense.
I thought this was my ticket to being able to find that adrenaline rush again and go to these places that no one else would go to otherwise.
It's that adrenaline. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
And it's like people, when they hear adrenaline junkie, they typically think of like somebody that's jumping off a cliff or they're doing something physical, right? Mm-hmm. I share with you the psychological adrenaline addiction, which is just this perceived risk that heightens that. Exactly. And there's a rush there. But there's also the potential of you realizing how incredibly vulnerable you really are. And it sounds like that you realize that. Yeah.
It took me years and years, and an experience later on with, while I was in the military, but traveling alone, that was like, oh, okay, this isn't fun anymore. I'm actually vulnerable. But I'm so glad you get that, because I explained that adrenaline rush. And I mean, I do also chase the traditional adrenaline rushes, but not as much as that. I especially in my 20s, I was like, what sketchy thing can I go get myself into and then see if I can get out of today? So,
well, I'm glad you got it out of your system. I mean, I just am recovering now. So, I still have, you talked about these urges to go just leave in a van and go to all the different national parks. That is an adrenaline rush.
Yes.
Like, I get that. Yeah. I want to do that too. My cat keeps me grounded here. Like, I've been here. I've been here for like 6 years, and it's the longest I've been in one place since I was a child. Wow. So, like, the up and go, there's an adrenaline that comes with that.
Definitely.
That I totally get. But tell me about that story where you were alone in the Army.
Okay.
If you're willing to share.
Yeah, I can share it. I do have to give some context around it.
Let's get the context.
All right. So when I did when I did join the Army, I opted to join as a human intelligence collector.
Ooh, that sounds interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I would say it's the best job in the Army.
Yeah?
I wouldn't do it again.
Okay.
It was fun until it wasn't. But consequently, my career with the Army was a little bit different than the traditional, I guess, trajectory. And I found myself working alone quite often. For the human stuff, you get kind of put on two tracks, whether you do interrogations or source ops.
Okay.
And I had a lot of rotations out to Europe, to Germany, and then you would get the opportunity to travel. Sometimes it was just for pleasure, sometimes it was for work. This one was for pleasure, and I was out in Copenhagen. And in my job, you're taught to just be able to notice things, obviously pick up if you're being followed or something like that. And picked it up. And I think it was, who knows what the situation was. I kind of was, when I came back and reported it, my office, my counterintelligence guys kind of told me what their assessment of what happened was after the fact. But in short, I was followed, and I ended up, it was an organized effort to potentially grab me. And I ended up being able to kind of fight the one guy off and get back to my hostel, and haven't been back to Copenhagen since. Have not worn the backpack that I was wearing when I was there, things like that. But had I not had that training, I don't think I would have picked up on it as quick.
Yeah.
So that was a situation where, when I went back and kind of told them what happened, it was kind of the same thing. Like, you shouldn't be out alone. What are you doing? Walking alone. This time I was truly walking. It was a Sunday night. I was going to see an art exhibit. So I really wasn't looking for trouble. I was really, really tame.
I just want to go see the art.
It was a light up. It was these beautiful blue light up, I don't know, structures down on a pier somewhere.
Yeah.
And I walked out to see them, and I just kind of.
So can you kind of walk me through what happened as you were walking? Like, I'm missing that whole part.
Okay, so I was able to notice a guy was following me.
Like, how far behind was he?
He was a ways to begin with, but the reason I was able to notice was because I had been walking around for about an hour at this point, and I kept seeing the same guy behind me, and I would pop in and out of shops. I remember the last one was I went into like an ice cream shop, and I came out, and not only was he still behind me, but he was the exact same distance behind me that he had been for like the last hour.
Okay.
So obviously if you go into a shop and someone's walking behind you, when you come out of the shop, they should in theory have passed you, or be like, walking past you in that moment. So yeah, he was always the same distance. And then finally, when we got up towards the pier, I kind of paused because there was no one else around that area. There was a couple waiters putting away tables in the restaurant that I was standing next to. So I paused at the window to make sure I was in sight of them. And at that point, he continued walking towards me, and he had a camera out, and he was filming me. And at this point, he was pretty like open about it, and he like circled me with the camera. and that's
kind of gutsy, isn't it?
I think he thought at this point, I'm totally by myself.
Yeah.
Right. So I immediately went into, problem solving mode, and I looked to my left, and at the art exhibit, there was a group of college students walking past. And again, this is Denmark, but most people speak English. But I say college students because someone was wearing a university sweatshirt. Okay. So I was like, they're American.
Yeah.
They got to be.
Okay.
So I beelined to them, and I just said, hey, someone's following me, and can I just hang out with you guys for a little bit? And they said, oh, no problem. And so I just kind of walked with them, hoping that he would go away if he saw me with a group of people. It kind of worked, but he like lingered nearby. Yeah. And then that's when I, try to kind of make a dash down a road back to my hostel.
You ran?
Walked very fast.
Yeah.
And then once the second guy kind of popped up out of nowhere, that's when I took off running.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Yeah. So it was one of those, that was the first wake up call where it was like, now this isn't
like what I'm trying to think of, like once you got to your hostel, like close the door, like what did you do to feel safe again?
Well, luckily I wasn't in like a shared room.
Okay.
I was in a single room, thank goodness. So I just locked the door. My train out was the next day. So I just locked the door and hunkered down.
Yeah.
And there, at that point though, your mind is racing on, especially when the second person, is one thing to have one person be kind of, maybe, who knows why they're following you, right? But when the second person popped up, that's why I started running. And at that point, when you get back and you've experienced something like that, you start to think everyone else is in on it.
Oh, absolutely.
Right? So I didn't know, and it was a cool hostel. Like big, shared community room and stuff like that. And I remember walking in and seeing the guy behind the front desk, and I was like, he's in on it. Like, this person, like, everybody, you know what I mean? Your brain just goes into full paranoia in that moment. So I just went straight back to my room, locked myself there, and and left. And I usually walk to the train station or wherever, take public transportation. But the next morning, I went to the front desk. I had them call a taxi, and I went straight from there to train station, to the airport. Yeah. So, yeah.
Oh, my goodness. That is really, really scary.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you for telling that. I know that's a big deal. Like, you're probably reliving some of those emotions right now.
Yeah. That's one that I've been to therapy for quite a bit.
I would understand. Yeah.
So I've been used to retelling it. I'm accustomed to it, and of course I had to. As soon as I got back, it was one of those ones I had to be debriefed on and kind of give them exactly step by step what happened. And yeah.
Do you feel like you're in a debrief right now?
No, not so much. I feel like I was a little bit more of a storytelling.
Okay, good.
Debrief would have been like, what were you wearing? What were they wearing? What did they say? What?
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just imagining that happening and the aftermath of that type of experience. Mm-hmm. And you already mentioned that you've been in therapy. Mm-hmm. Knowing that you're in the yoga community, it makes sense to me that you're in a trauma-informed yoga center at Dust Off. Jen is wonderful for that reason. Mm-hmm. She provides a space for people that have had traumatic experiences and incorporates healing in her yoga practice for that specific reason. So it's what drew me there too.
Yeah. That's right. And it brings together so many people that wouldn't otherwise maybe step their foot into a yoga studio. But it's really incredible what we're able to do there. I have never left that studio not feeling better, whether I'm teaching or attending a class. And it's just such a supportive and safe and peaceful space. And everyone kind of comes in with that mindset regardless of what's bringing them there. It's just like kind of everything kind of melts away once you get there, and I am so grateful for it. And it's definitely, I said in one of my classes recently that yoga is all about reframing things. And that's one, because one of the things I work through in therapy, especially after that experience, but a few others with the military as well, is just kind of the belief that everyone's out to get you, or that the world is inherently bad, people are inherently evil, or there's just kind of that negativity. And Dust Off and just being a yoga teacher in general has helped really transform that, like, what was ingrained in me for so long. It's great.
I get that.
It's great.
I didn't have a situation like that, but I lived in Ecuador for several years, and there was this feeling of danger and always looking over my shoulder, head on a swivel, like
hypervigilance.
Yes. And I am still healing from that. I mean, Littleton is so wonderful in comparison to some of these big cities. We don't have the level of crime. We don't have the population. Like, we have it really nice here.
Oh my
gosh, it's quiet.
Yes.
So many luxuries that it's like why I love this place. But I still walk out on Main Street. I live on Main Street, and I still will walk out of my apartment, and I'll peek my head out and look both ways and like, who's around? Who looks shady? Like, who do I need to watch out for? It doesn't, it's kind of stays in you, and you have to choose not to be fearful. You can always choose to be fearful. Like, even if you've had all this therapy and healing, you can always revert back.
That's that's exactly, it's the choice.
It is the choice.
But being able to, once you put yourself in a environment where you're able to bring down the nervous system and kind of take that breath, then your brain is able to make that choice, right? If you're always in that environment that's causing you to be hypervigilant constantly, it's like you don't even realize you have the choice. But here, at least you're at the step where you're able to choose to be like, okay, wait, I can choose not to do this today. Yeah,
which is so true.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing all of that.
Yeah.
We still have 10 minutes left, by the way. Okay. So I know that you're from Massachusetts. I know that you had your Army experience and that you're thankful to be done. Why Warren, New Hampshire?
Yeah.
How did you end up back here?
So, growing up, when we would vacation, we do a lot of camping trips, up to Maine, or ski trips to Vermont. But my favorite memories were Jigger Johnson on the Kangamangas, that campground. Like, that was by far my favorite memories from the time I was 8 years old. And every time, especially coming back, so when I was in the Army, it was, I was never actually home for more than 2 months at a time. And even when I was, we were out doing a training event. It was very, very high pace. But when I did come back here and managed to spend a week or two at home, I would always end up traveling up here, and I would just land somehow in Littleton. I would land here. I would make the loop around Conway up through Mount Washington, and then I would just end up here every time without fail to stay. It's so funny. I drive by. I was like, oh, I've stayed there. Because it's just I would just by default be in either Bethlehem. My godmother had a house in Twin Mountain. Okay. So we would come up here for New Year's as well. So when I moved back in 2021, I actually wasn't sure if I thought I was going to have a full career with the Army at that point still. But I knew I wanted to be able to at least have a house up here. And so I started just the search, and I found a log cabin in Warren, 5 minutes off the Kangamangas. And I was just like, this is it. This is it. And that was 2022. So I bought my place, and then right after I bought my place, that's when everything kind of started to, the cards started to fall in terms of my career and just medical situation and all of that. So I knew I tried to convince my parents to move, maybe out somewhere. I love Arizona and the, out west. Yeah. They're not moving. They weren't interested. And I said, well, I really like New Hampshire, and I have a place up there. And it was the best thing. I didn't realize at the time, it was about 2023 is when I realized I was going to be staying put here. But it was by far the best thing that could have ever happened. So when I moved up here full time, I would say last fall, I was still kind of traveling back and forth to take care of some things with the Army, but it's just there's no other way. And it's funny now too, because I work for this, or I volunteer rather for this nonprofit called Aerial Recovery Group, and they're based out of Nashville and Miami. And the founders, actually, I was in the same battalion as the co-founder, so that's kind of how I got connected with them. And but the founder, she always says you always can move somewhere warmer and sunnier. And in my mentality, I'm like, I can always move somewhere with bigger mountains and more snow. Yeah. So it's so funny because she's incredible and she's taught me so much. But I would say that's one thing that we're totally on opposite ends of the spectrum on. And I think a big part of it is what we just talked about. It's because it's the proximity to nature here. It is the peacefulness of it. It is also the pride and community here. You know what I mean? I do know what you mean. Yeah, you can be as connected as you want to be, and really everyone here is just there's definitely a sense of pride. Yeah, I love it. Yeah, I love it because we should be proud of our community. Agreed. Yeah, so it's it's just, and there's something to do every season. That's that's the trick to enjoying the snow in the winter is finding something to do outdoors. Get yourself outside in the snow, and then you learn to like it.
Exactly. I went through that whole process myself.
Yeah. So yeah, that's what brought me up here. And I wouldn't have it any other way now. I love it so much. So
I'm so glad.
Yeah.
And I feel like I totally see pieces of myself in your story, because I came here too looking for peace and safety.
Yeah.
And just a sense of connection. And I found all of that. I mean, it took a while.
Yeah.
It takes time. You don't just have it immediately.
Yeah.
But I totally get that mystique of this place and those things that it can offer each one of us if we're really looking for it.
Absolutely. Yeah. And it's, I don't know. It just, everything works in funny ways, like I had, before I started at Dust Off, I actually connected with Jen on the solstice retreat last year.
Oh, okay.
And I kept seeing the number ones all over the place. And and then I got to the tannery where for the solstice retreat, and it's 111. I was like, this is meant to be. And when I was able to connect with Jen, it's like we both have dogs that look alike. We both have that background. And it turns out her son is serving alongside the unit I was a part of when I was in Iraq and Syria. Yeah, so he's serving, I think, as an attachment, but it's just such a small world. Yeah. It's so funny how things come together. And now I get to do things every day that make me happy. So that's
good.
What it's about.
I'm so glad that we crossed paths.
I know.
I think that was meant to be too.
I think it's so cool what you're doing with this. After you told me about the radio show, I was thinking about it. I was like, because not only are you reminding people that they have a story, that their story matters, and they have a story to tell, you're giving them a platform and voice to do it. And you're also, in a time like this, you're showing the community that we have so much more to build connections from, rather than sow division from, by just being that and how it originated. Were you saying you were at coffee shops? That's what I do now. I just hang out at coffee shops. I really do, because it's all about routine and building familiar faces. And I just sat down on the couch just the other day, and all of a sudden I get talking to this woman. It turns out her husband was also stationed in Clarksville, where I was.
That's amazing.
He also went to, the Defense Language Institute where I went. We both, so it's just all these silly little things. And it just happened that she sat down on the couch where I usually never sit. But this one day I was like, I guess I'll sit on the couch today.
It's amazing.
It's just,
I think that you're saying yes. And when you show up open like that, magic happens.
Truly.
Yeah.
Truly, yes.
When you're open to even responding to somebody and acknowledging them sitting across from you. Things like that. Just little things that you just tap into it and it's there.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. And it's all about, it starts with the reframe and then going from there. So.
Well, I just so appreciate you being here. You've shared some really big, powerful stories. Super brave of you to do that and share with the community, relive those things. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, of course.
Thank you for being open.
Therapeutic.
Good. I don't tell anybody, but this is actually just a disguised therapy session.
Oh, boy.
No, I'm not a therapist.
No. Legal disclaimer.
Yeah. But thank you. I hope you'll consider coming back.
I'd love to.
Yeah, I bet you got some more stories in there from all of your travels.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
I'd absolutely love to.
Thank you so much.